There's 5 reasons to avoid this drink if you have acid reflux or hiatal hernia. I'm talking about alcohol. So what are the reasons? It allows the sphincter or valve connecting your esophagus to your stomach to remain too loose so reflux can occur. It makes your stomach not empty fast enough, and so the pressure builds up. That can cause or aggravate a hiatal hernia as well as reflux. It irritates the lining of your esophagus, which if you have any one of these conditions, it's already irritated. Now it gets worse. And it also aggravates evening reflux. So you lie down, you get acid reflux that's aggravated by alcohol. And lastly, it really limits your ability to heal due to a number of factors. So just wanted to give you the overview, and now we're gonna jump into it a bit deeper. So the first one, it relaxes that LES, the lower esophageal sphincter. You have about 10 to 15 sphincters throughout your body, but the sphincters in the gastrointestinal tract are really helping keep food and beverage from move top down. We never want it to move bottom up, okay? You've all vomited and it's a horrible experience. If you have acid reflux, you have hiatal hernia, that's the motion upwards. It shouldn't be. Everything should be top down, and these sphincters are very intelligent. They sense food or beverages coming, they open up, and then once it passes, they close, and there's this pressure. They exert a pressure down so that things are not moving the wrong way. So alcohol loosens these sphincters, and so they're more likely for things to move because the sphincter is not as toned. You can think about it as a muscle. It's just not as toned as it should be. So then we have delayed gastric emptying, gastric just referring to stomach. So things just stay in your stomach too long. And you might feel that if you just feel full, you might feel like, wow, things like I ate this meal is still sitting there. You know, those are the comments that people make. And so alcohol causes this to occur, and that delay, that fullness of the stomach is creating a lot of pressure within the stomach and also within the abdomen, and that increased pressure causes pressure upwards as well, and that causes hiatal hernia as well as acid reflux. Then we have increased stomach acid production. So alcohol can actually increase the amount of stomach acid being produced, which if you have low stomach acid, that could be a good thing, but there's much better ways to do it than drinking alcohol, I assure you. But if you have gastritis, inflammation of the stomach, esophagitis, inflammation of the esophagus, then obviously more acid is just going to be more irritating. So that's why that's a problem. Then we have the fact that alcohol just irritates the lining of the esophagus. You've drank alcohol, it burns, you know, and it because it's an irritant. It's also a toxin, but it's an irritant to that lining, those delicate mucosal membranes that make up your esophagus. So if your esophagus is already irritated from acid, having a hiatal hernia, having acid reflux, just going to make it worse. And then you're moving toward potentially Barrett's esophagus, which is a precancerous condition, or esophageal cancer itself. So another big reason to avoid alcohol. Then we have the fact that usually you drink at night, and alcohol, due to, again, the relaxation of these sphincters, allows things to move upward. So you drink at night, maybe a bigger meal associated with it, you lie down, and then your nocturnal reflux. So your reflux during the evening is worsened because of alcohol consumption. And lastly, alcohol impedes healing because it's a toxin. It increases inflammation. It decreases your ability to absorb certain nutrients. And so you're just not going to heal as well. And we all want to be optimally healthy, but certainly if you have a hiatal hernia or acid reflux, there's a lot in the gut that needs to be healed, and alcohol is going to get in the way of that. So those are the 6 reasons to avoid alcohol, and I want to give you some specifics about certain types of alcohol. So red wine is very acidic, and it also is high in histamine. So if you have an inflamed gut, you're more likely to react negatively to the acidic content and the histamines, in addition to just the alcohol content. And then we have beer, which is carbonated. So carbonation creates gas. That gas creates pressure, which is the last thing you need. in either one of these conditions. Then there's mixers, which tend to have alcohol, and then they have sugar. They're carbonated, and again, the carbonation is going to create the pressure. And then there's also mixes that have a lot of citrus added to them. So citrus is acidic, of course, and the acidic nature is going to be another aggravating factor. So tips of what to do. Really have to limit your alcohol. And it's just generally speaking, for overall health, there's just nothing good about alcohol. I've been doing this for 40 years, and back in the day, I was like, oh, red wine is good for you. In these countries, they have longevity, la, 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 la. But you know what? The truth of the matter is it's come out that there's nothing good to be said about alcohol. So the faster you can diminish it and eliminate it from your diet, truly the better. Special occasions, totally fine. But generally speaking, should it be any sort of day-to-day or week-to-week component of your diet, it really should not be. So the faster you can move in that direction, I can guarantee you'll feel better. That's what everybody says, like, well, it was a big decision, but oh my gosh, I'm sleeping better, my energy's better, my cognitive health is better, my digestion is better. So there's a lot of good reasons to get rid of alcohol. If you are going to drink, make sure it's at least 3 hours before bed. Alcohol, unfortunately, it's a depressant, and a relaxant, so you feel that nice sort of sleepy feeling, but then it becomes a stimulant, and that's in the middle of the night, and it disrupts your sleep. So you want to have it a good 3 hours before bed. Also, don't combine it with a heavy fatty meal, because the fact that it causes motility in the stomach to slow down, so does a fatty meal, and you can be really miserable if you compound the two. Try to stay upright, avoid carbonation. The staying upright, just getting things through your system. Also, that relaxation of the sphincters, at least if gravity is helping pull things down versus allowing them to reflux up. That's a bit better. And yeah, those were all of them. So I hope this was helpful for you. Acid reflux is extremely common. It's extremely deleterious overall to your digestive health. It is not an overstatement to say that if you have poor digestive health, it's truly impossible to be ideally healthy. So there's really no exaggeration there. And what I want for you is to enjoy great health, enjoy your life, achieve your goals, and you're not stuck with this. I mean, we've been doing this for quite a long period of time, and there's a lot that can be done to really vastly diminish the symptoms, improve hiatal hernia, get rid of acid reflux, and it's a natural program. So that's open to you. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. If you did, give it a thumbs up, send me a comment. I love to hear from you. And also consider subscribing. We're trying to increase the number of subscribers to our channel, and that helps more people get exposed to this information. So that's my goal. I'll talk to you soon.